Today I only have to go second. Remember last time the Army got together, I think I was like sixth. And by the time they got to me, I just said ditto with all they said. Congressman Hayes, sir, it's always great to see you, ma'am. Welcome. Brady, it's good to see you. Mayor Schiavone, it's always good to see you and your lovely wife and great ideas. And to point out, you know, to echo kind of what the General's saying, what Joanne has going on with the I guess it would be the world's largest baby shower that's going to happen in November, is just an example of the demonstrated care that is actually existing here in Fayetteville for our soldiers and our airmen, as General Bartell mentioned. But at our home out on Pope, in the evening normally, Katie will grab, and I don't have it with me because I left it in the back, she'll grab my next day's calendar. And she'll go over exactly what am I doing to earn the taxpayer's dollar tomorrow. Well, she saw that I was coming here to talk to this idea of the sanctuary. And if any of you heard us on the George Breeze Military Monday, on Monday, we had the whole clan there. I say the whole clan, just Katie, Ryan, Bonnie, and I. But Ryan got on, and I'll get to my point, but Ryan got on, he's talking about Terry Sanford, and of course George Breeze said, well, I went to Fayetteville High School, I think is what it was called before it was Terry Sanford. Ryan's kind of going on about all his doings at school, and then Katie piped up and she said, well, I'm not as academically inept as my brother is. She meant to say as academically inclined as my brother is, because Katie is much more social. Katie is much more social, and we love her to death. Well, last night she got out my calendar, she said, hey, what's this sanctuary thing that you're going to go speak at? And of course Ryan, he is a senior and she's a sophomore, so in his way to kind of talk down to her, she says, hey, what do you mean, sanctuary? You know, Katie, sanctuary, that's where, you know, people go and you know, if you're in trouble, you go there and you get immunity, you're not in trouble. And she says, I don't think that's what this means. She says, sanctuary is kind of where you go and people take care of you. People look out for you. And I said, Katie, you are not as academically inept. I said, you are absolutely right. I said, that is what this is going to be all about. And I tell you, in words, in deeds, it's just not rhetoric. It lives, it breathes right here in Fayetteville. Another story that I'll give you is when Bonnie and I first got here 2 years ago, when we came to be the Vice Wing Commander. And I'll give you that if you saw me the way I dress on the weekends, normally a pair of khaki shorts and a pair of tennis shoes and a big dog t-shirt, you could probably pick out that guy's in the military. Because most people don't choose to have their hair look this way. But you couldn't tell if I was a senior non-commissioned officer, Mr. Honorary Senior Non-Commissioned Officer. You couldn't tell if I was a Master Sergeant. You couldn't tell if I was a Major or Lieutenant Colonel. You certainly couldn't tell that I was the at that time, the Vice Wing Commander of Pope Air Force Base, just by looking at me. But we were at J.C. Penney's, we're buying go-back-to-school clothes for Katie. Bonnie and Kate are in the line, as ladies and their daughters do, had more than anybody needed to buy. So they were putting that out onto the counter, and then Bonnie began, which we've become accustomed to. You have to dig through the purse, find the driver's license, which is from out of state, find the military ID card so they'll take your check. Bonnie's halfway digging, and the lady behind the counter said, ma'am, that's not going to be necessary. It's apparent your husband's out at the post. Your check is good here. Now, Bonnie did correct her. She said, no, we're out at the base. But she appreciated the fact that this lady, and I wasn't standing with Bonnie. I was a ways away. And the lady recognized and noticed, no, ma'am, you don't need to worry about that. Your check is good here. And that just spoke volumes. And that was one of our first dealings with the community. And it made such a tremendous impact. What you do here makes a difference. It's unique to any other community. Now, we've been in Abilene, Texas, and many of the community leaders know about the Abilene Trophy, which is given to communities on the amount of involvement they have with their local military community. We were in Abilene, we were in Little Rock at that Air Force Base, but there's a difference here, and it makes this place unique, and it makes it special. The difference is, in those communities, you would see the military members in the community. Okay, my kids attended the school, we played in the Little League baseball games, we played in the softball league. We were in the community. Here, we are part of the community. And there's a big difference. You can be in the community, you can be seen in the community. Here, we are part of the community. And I'll tell you, it's more than words, it's evidenced by General Dordo and his involvement in the BRAC Regional Task Force. You can look simply at our most recent retired command chief, Herb Hansen, is now an assistant principal over in Pinehurst. Chief Ventrilia, who recently retired from the 24th Special Tactics Squadron, is involved in the community. So we are part of the community. No more is it Vietnam or no hope. Folks look forward. They recognize the change. They recognize the support. And it makes a huge difference. And it's based on the mutual dependency between the military community and the downtown community, the mutual respect that exists, and the mutual commitment. I'm proud of our relationship. I will tell you, we brag about the relationship between Polk, Fort Bragg, and this community, and I could not be any happier to be anywhere than here in Fayetteville this afternoon, and for everything you all represent. So thank you very much.